Welcome to Super Fun with Google Forms. If we're going to create a new form, go to wherever you want in your drive, and you're going to New, choose More, and it'll say Google Forms. Click it. If it's in a shared folder, it'll give you that question as a default, and it'll start with an untitled form. In this case, I'm going to title mine I'm going to call it Google Forms Training Session. Okay, so what's going to happen whenever you guys have a form is it's going to have a series of questions. And the first question should usually be something along the lines of last name. Do you notice this button right here that says required? That means that it's required, and the students can't move on unless they actually answer the question. Instead of trying to type in a fresh one, if you want something that's very similar, you can click this button right here to duplicate. And so let's do first name. Actually, I changed my mind because most people, whenever they go to type in a form, especially our students, are going to want to do first name, then last name, and you'll end up having to make corrections and fix them, and let's avoid that. So first name, last name. Normally, you would put a class period, but given that this is for my teachers who are training, I'm going to simply ask school. In this case, you could do a drop-down menu. So whenever you do, you could put in the different schools around the district, which is what I will end up going and doing. And so I am at Lee, for example. And you could also have, so you would type in the different schools. I will go back for the sake of time and do that in a few minutes. And notice it is also required. From there, I want to add another question. So you see this little toolbar that stays on the right? Click Add Question. One of the things I would like is a URL to the form you are creating. What else do I want? I would also like from you guys to know what is it that you want. So what is your priority to learn today? And if you notice over here, you've got different options. You could do multiple choice where it shows all at once. You could do a drop down like when you're choosing the school. If, for example, you need something that could have multiple answers, you would do check boxes. And in this case, I'm going to go through and put in some different priorities that might be there. So making quizzes, sorting information. Oh, and I spelled it wrong. So when you're going through here, it will still underline, but sometimes it's got a delay. And so I'm going to go through and put in the rest of those. Instead of multiple choice where everyone is only able to choose one, it's possible to do a linear scale where you can rank them on 1 to 5. Or for right now, we're going to leave it as checkboxes. So you can check the ones that are the most important to you. Next, I've decided that I want to make this into multiple sections. So I should have the first section be, sorry, my mouse is having trouble. The first section should be something along the lines of a check-in. So first name, last name, school. You haven't created the URL yet. So you guys are we're going to bump that down. Do you see these dots up here at the top? That's how you move around the questions. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a new section. So we'll have the first section be where you guys check in, and the second section be where you're actually doing some work. I often use this strategy in my classroom for the students. So what we're going to do is, if you see these buttons down here, add section. And this question, the blank question we haven't filled in yet, I'm going to drag it down here to the next section. So this section is going to be called Share Your Form. So at this point, we've got a check-in, and we've also got where you guys are going to be sharing your form. To share this form with me, over here where it says Send in the top right, click that button, and you can either email it to people. In this case, please don't. This button right here is supposed to look like a chain link, and so whenever you see this, it means there's a link of some sort. If you needed to shorten this URL, such as if you were sharing it on Remind or something else, you could do that here. But in this case, it doesn't matter how long it is. You can copy it by hitting Control-C, or you can click Copy. And so when you go to fill in the form today, this is the link you would copy into my form that you guys will be starting.